Hi, welcome to Great Goodness. It's me, Angie Driven,
Caren Stuart.
and we're so excited to have you here today. I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you a little spoiler alert. Okay, there's a reason you see just the two of us. Karen
It-
has a poem that she has written that she wants to share and share this process, share this poem, and we're so excited to do that. And I think it's so cool that she's willing to do this with us.
I'm
So
so
that's
obnoxious. You're so
no,
kind, and I'm so obnoxious. Tell the
this
truth.
no,
I called
this
Angie and I was like, "I've got a poem I want to share. We need to do a one-on-one. Great goodness."
I think it's great because so often people who like host or create a platform forget to share, you know? And we're out
Yeah,
there going share, share, share. You got to share. Part of the goodness
that's
is
true.
sharing,
That's true.
and then we don't do it. And so and I'm intrigued and I want to know about this poem. So
Okay.
I'm really excited about this, but we're still going to do an oracle card.
Yes.
Yeah. So Karen,
Are we gonna do
you're
that now? We're
yeah.
gonna do it now.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay. So of course, I'm always excited about every deck, but this is my newest deck, and so I'm just newly excited. So I'm going to be sharing a card from this Dream Song Oracle deck. And this is the deck was written by Angie Sullins, artwork by Marta Orlowska, and the deck was published by US Game Systems. So y'all can Google that and buy your own deck online because it is, look at this guidebook, right? I swear,
It's
I
amazing.
promise you, I'm not compensated for these people's decks, but it is a beautiful, right? So
Oh,
the guidebook has
that's
the
enhanced.
vision of the person who wrote it. Angie Sillins has her
Yeah,
vision for the cards, and then it's got a replica of the card in there by the
that's
artist
great.
Marta Orlowska. So yes, so I have shuffled these cards as I always do,
I still think
and
we need to get a card, like one of the duos who make the cards on here, because I want
I
to talk
know,
about how they collaborate. Like I think
I know, right?
that's a skill, like
Yeah,
to have
let's
that
do
kind of
that.
teamwork. I know we need someone. Do
Let's
y'all
we
know
could have
anyone? Reach out.
We could, yeah, y'all let us know if you have a suggestion. I'll just show you. Look at it's lovely, the gold edge.
This is the fox. I love
Right.
this one.
So this is what
Yeah.
the backs of the cards look like. The lovely fox, seeing the reflection of the fox.
I want that in wallpaper.
Oh, wouldn't that be nice?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So anyway, that's the deck we're pulling from. And so we are not asking a question. We're not looking for anybody's advice or opinions because we have enough of those ourselves.
Ever. That's
Never, no,
that's
no
across
interest.
the
No,
board.
no, we love everyone's opinions and questions. But we love our own a lot too. Okay, so we're just being open-minded and we're going to pull a card and just see what it speaks to us. We're not consulting the guidebook. We're not asking questions. We are just going to see what this card that I just pulled, and I'm just going to look at it first so I can tell you what the number is. Oh, number 41, bring the exile home.
Mm.
Okay, so there's the message on the bottom. And let me see if I can get the whole card in
Oh,
there.
and that's a little house, right?
Oh, isn't that beautiful?
It is beautiful.
Bring the exile home. What a
Now,
message.
what's in the foreground?
Okay, now I'm going to have to look at it. Okay. So this, you have this beautiful woman looking dreamy, and her head is resting on the roof of the little white house that's at the top of a hill,
Okay.
and it's wooded, and it looks like there is. Oh, it's at the edge of a pond. So, okay. Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Okay. This is a reflection of the house in the pond,
Okay.
right? Isn't it so dreamy?
I love
And you've got
that.
the little quarter moon in the sky and the birds, I believe, flying. And
It makes me, it's interesting too, because it's a 41, so five. And then the tarot, the five is, it can be sort of this time where you feel like isolated or exhausted. Like,
whoa,
it's the middle of your your vision, like one, your spark, and 10, your completion. And when you're midway, it's like you do
It's your middle
sometimes feel
point.
alone and you do sometimes feel tired and like, am I, and so that when I think of exile, I think of loneliness and I think of like, and that card usually shows up to say you do you do have a community of some sort. Like everyone's looks different.
Oh,
Um,
right, right.
and, and it's a card of encouragement and acknowledgement and validation and empowerment. And do you know what, does that make sense?
I'm seeing that, yeah, and I'm just
Mm-hmm.
thinking of the words bring the exile home. So
Mm-hmm.
exile is where you have taken yourself or someone has put you in a
Mm-hmm.
situation where you are away from
Yes.
home.
Yes.
And this is telling you to take that exile home.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, and home could be a physical
Right.
home, or it could be your heart, like
Yeah.
where your home is.
It
And
can be your spirit. Yeah.
yeah.
You were gonna
And
say
so I
something.
love that no, I'm looking back at the image, like she is dreamy, is contemplative, and she's right there at home, in at least in her dream state.
She looks at peace,
Yeah,
really.
she does. Yeah.
And
Bring the
the
exile
the
home.
other type of community I feel like we forget to talk about sometimes, because I live very rurally. I'm not a social person. I need a lot of private time
Hmm.
and I feel like I accept that about myself now, and like I've always liked that about myself, and I'm fine with it. But you get a lot of pressure, like, oh, you need to
Yeah. Oh, you need to
socialize,
come
oh, you
out.
need
You need.
to,
Yeah.
and that's but but I was thinking about it the other day and realized that a lot of my community, it's energetic. It is nature, but it's also
Yeah.
the energy of spirit and other
Mhm.
spirits. And like, so I don't feel alone. Like,
Yes. Yeah.
uh, and I'm always doing this because I can feel it around
Yeah, you're
me.
surrounded by
Yeah.
all the yes, because you do
Yeah.
feel the energies, and yeah, so you aren't alone. You're
Yeah.
always channeling that, and
And
oh, I
sometimes
love this
that's what
so
you're
much.
bringing. Sometimes or sometimes you're coming back to that. You're bringing yourself back to that because
Yes,
that's,
bring the exile home. Hey, that's what I was doing when I called and said, I've got a poem I want to share. Let's
yes,
celebrate goodness. I'm
yes.
like, I'm not keeping this. I got to share.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think that is what you were doing.
Or
Oh,
I was being obnoxious also,
no.
but it is what it is.
I say brave and generous. That's what you were
Okay,
being.
that's because you are kind and generous.
So let me tell y'all about Karen.
Oh, that. Okay.
Caren Stuart is a lifelong North Carolinian who lives in the woods of Chatham County with her very supportive husband. She's an intuitive, empathic, enthusiastic poet, writer, artist, maker who's been writing poetry and making all manner of art and craft since the first time she held a crayon in her hand. She's passionate about joy, love, and creative expression in all of its forms, and expanding the great goodness light of the positive energy that comes from creating and sharing. See, this is in practice. You
Hmm.
put it into practice. Convoluted Notions is the name of her artsy craftsy business, which is very neglected these days because she's so passionately busy with her daily writing practice and all sorts of poetry related goings on and talking to amazing creative folks with Angela Driven, that's me, for the videos they're posting is great goodness on YouTube and Facebook.
I
Her
got a
web
plug in there.
I know. I was like, ooh, good one. Her website should be live any minute now. She keeps saying. She does keep saying that. And it'll
I know.
be www.karenstewart.weebly.com. And you can always find Karen at Convoluted Notions by Caren Stuart, all one word, on Facebook and Instagram, where she shares peeks into her daily creative practice and actively promotes artsy craftsy goings on and the work of all manner of poets, writers, artists, and makers. Send her a message. She loves chatting up folks. I can attest to
That
that.
that is true.
That's how we met. So yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That is how we met. We
Hmm.
met online
Hmm.
chatting after a Zoom
Yep.
while the
Yeah.
Zoom was still going. Yeah. It's all great goodness. Thank you for reading that bio that I obnoxiously wrote really long and sent to you.
I thought it was great. I love the things that you think to put in a bio. And actually, your bio challenged me to rewrite my bio because, and I think like Essie Harsha was talking about this too.
Hmm. Oh, the
Like,
credentials.
yeah, the credentials, the branding,
Yeah,
and like, why are we saying what we're saying about ourselves?
yeah.
And like trying to speak about ourselves in a way that's like authentic and pure and doesn't have the intention of
Hmm.
branding and connecting that way. Like if I say I'm neurodiverse, or if I say I'm Appalachian, or if I say,
Right,
what is my real intention there? Or if I'm saying I have an MFA, is that really what's core to me?
right.
Or
Yeah.
am
Do
I
you want, is that what you want people to know, or or why is that what you want people to know?
right,
That's
right.
probably what we should ask ourselves with our bios is like, okay, here's the bio I wrote. Why did I select these items to be in my bio?
Yeah. I think it's worth thinking about. And then thinking about thinking about when we read bios, what we take away, right? So like because
Yeah.
because if we're reading them and the only thing we ooh and ah over is a credential or an identity, or something, then we are perpetrating that bias.
Hmm.
And even though we're on the other side of it, and I have to be honest, like there have been times I've read bios and I've just been like, dang, like blown away by what they did and by
Yeah.
their awards and their but I actually, I want to appreciate people on a different level. Like I want to, because it's nice when
Yeah.
you've won awards. That's nice. And some of them are free to apply for, but some of it's a privilege. Like some of it is
Oh,
proof
that's
of
true.
privilege
Yeah.
because you had to spend however much money with fees or time. Like some of us
Hmm.
work a lot. We don't have time to do
Yeah.
that. So anyway, my point is that
It's a thing.
I like your bio because I feel
Uh,
like when I read it, these are the things that I know to be true about you.
okay.
You, you know,
Yeah,
like
I didn't throw any made up stuff in there, so
no, like this is how you are. This is how you
yeah,
function.
yeah,
This is how you show up. This is what you promote. Like this really is how you live.
yes.
This is not.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that's
I tried to put stuff that was actually important to me in the bio about me.
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like not just like the showy let me find some showy stuff to put in there. Like, no, it's like,
Yeah. And
you know.
yeah, and you usually do that with your bio. Like you usually show up with the same kind of things that are in this one, and it did.
Mm.
It gave me permission and challenged me to rework my bio. So now mine's like I've got dogs. I love
Oh,
them.
good. See, that's a big deal, though, right? I mean, it's part of who yes, like that's what I
Yeah.
want to know who you are. Because I'm going
Yeah.
to read your poems to find out more about who you are and about what you're doing. But
Yeah.
really, at the end of the day, like, I mean, I think it's great to win awards and
Yeah.
have all that. But at the end of the day, if I'm devoting some time to your work,
Mm.
I want to enjoy the work and know about the work and know about who's doing it instead of how many prizes have you won.
Yeah. And and even if someone has never won a prize, their work may
It's
be
right.
but there's so
I
many people whose work
I
is
don't care.
remarkable. Yeah. And
Yeah, if you
so
haven't, it's lucky me that I got to read it and it's not because you entered a big contest and
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Now, how are we
Okay.
doing
That
this?
being said,
Are you going to read it first and then break it
yes, I
down?
am.
Okay.
Yes, but okay, so y'all, those of you who know me know that I like words a whole lot and I like to have a lot of fun with them. So and I think it works really well when you're reading the poem because a lot of what I do is use homonyms, which are the words that
Mhm.
sound the same but they're spelled differently, so they have different meanings. And that's one of the things I love about English so much is we have so many of them. and I like to use them in my poems because I like the double meanings.
Mhm.
That being said, it's fun when you're reading it, but when you're hearing it, it's lost. So I'm going to do this really obnoxious thing, and I'm just going to throw at you the homonyms that are in this poem. And when I'm reading it, I'm going to try to just do a thing with my hands. So you'll be like, oh, she just said eyes there. Oh, is it eyes that you see with it, or is it eyes like yeses, like I? So, okay, I know that's kind of obnoxious, but it's important to me. Y'all, so throw me a bone here, right? So I
I
got
think
a
it's
lot of
great.
homonyms in there. So eyes is one. Please is one also, like please, like the way you plead,
Hmm.
pleadings, and also please that goes with thank you, right? Lead is in there, lead like after you've been leading someone, lead, and also the lead that you might think is in your pencils, but it really isn't. That's graphite. Um, so right, I did some Googling this morning, right? I got to share the knowledge. And also I use new like not old, and new like something that you know, have known. Um, oh, the other thing I did, which was brilliant, I'm glad I did this because the poem does deal with bluets, which are
Uh,
the right, Angie knows because she lives in Virginia. So bluets are these tiny, beautiful little lavenderish blue flowers that apparently grow in every lawn that I ever have lived near. So they grow like weeds, but they're absolutely gorgeous, and they make me so happy. So I'm like bluets, which is spelled like the color blue, Bluets. And I'm like, that is so lovely. I'm going to look it up and just make sure I didn't miss some facts about it. They're also known as Quaker ladies. Isn't that interesting?
aw.
Never knew that, right? The other thing I never knew, which I'm glad I looked up because y'all are going to be hearing this, and I didn't think that the spelling would matter on bluets, but there is a bluet that is actually spelled Blewit, and that is a mushroom, which is not what I'm talking about in this poem. I am talking about Quaker ladies, which are the bluets that are little blue wildflowers that pop up in your lawn everywhere. So
Okay.
that was a lot of backstory, but that's
I
my
love it.
little. Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I love a dictionary, just some dictionary research. And yeah, it can be important. So if you see my finger doing this, I just threw a homonym at you. So
Okay,
just maybe
perfect.
just think, oh, what's she doing there? Okay. So I'm so excited about this poem, y'all, because I really love the poem. And I read it to my sister a couple weeks ago, and she went crazy about it. She's my sister, so she does that kind of automatically. Anyway, we talked about it, and I was like, oh, I think I was doing a lot in that poem that I didn't really realize. And I think, and she was the one that said it. She goes, "This is like your anthem poem. This is about why you create and how you create and why it's important." And I was like,
Mm.
okay, that's very abstract, but yes, I think so. So it made me get really jazzed up about it. And now I'm going to be really, really obnoxious. It got published. Um, so
Ah.
so I'm going to read it from this. It won honorable mention in the Poetry Society's one of their contests, the Robert Golden Award, which is their contest for kind of wordy poems, the long ones that goes more than a page. Um, and it was an honorable mention, so I was really excited about that. And of course, I Googled the guy that was the judge before I sent the poem because I'm like, well, just see who's going to be reading this,
Hmm.
hopefully. Excuse me. And his name is Robert Dodd Lee. Y'all check his poems out. He's the bomb. Anyway, I don't know the man. He doesn't know me. And it is Judge Blind. So even if I'd sent him a fan letter or something, he wouldn't know. Anyway, that's a lot of backstory. So I'm going to read this poem from Pinesong, the award-winning poems from 2025 North Carolina
Yay,
Poetry Society
congratulations,
contest.
Karen.
Thank you so much. This is getting braggier by the minute. Okay, here's a poem that makes me happy. This is Oh, and remember when I do the finger thing, one of those homonyms. What are my answers to questions conjured as death rides a tarot card among flowers? Bluets, if only, even with a hint of their blooming, I am seduced by the whispered hope in their unblinking eyes. Yes, yes, please. I've received many gifts such as these, bluets, from time to time, and I've missed the door in the mountain, I think, the
Mm.
first go round at least. But doesn't every mountain allow many journeys up and down, around and through? I am never actually through, as in finished. What I fear might be revealed in my cards is truth, isn't it? This life is all about revisioning and showing up and whittling into the depths of whatever surfaces. I still have my smooth green Girl Scout pocket knife. Mumbly peg, anyone? Daddy taught me how to play. And that is whatever comes up. Bluets, meadows, streams of consciousness, such as this now. What surfaces often materializes on paper from rivers of ink or lead, rhymes with said, lead rhymes with fed, by hand with pen or pencil in hand. What surfaces often is light, of course, and the music of poem, rhythm and rhyme without any ifs, ands, buts about it, and no oars for shooting through the rapids, only just the current itself. Whatever do the cards revisiting images want of me? Acknowledge and admit? Yes. Confess whatever is and allow it in, meaning I must acknowledge the meaning of what I am gleaning and allow that meaning into me. Yes, please, please. The returning cards are always speaking. Own this truth, this secret I've been trying to hide from myself. Death as a card is so many different kinds of death, which are always so many different kinds of paths. And death is alarm clock. More tick and tock than alarm, more disarm than alarm, more opening up to new than burying new, as in what has been known. It's not always someone we mourn, sometimes it's something. Each morning brings a new day, new evening, new night. Go to sleep, perchance to dream, perchance to awaken anew, anew. Poets dive, dissect, divulge, divest, die with a Y. So many shades to pull down into night, to raise up into day, into light. What I want to nourish is my empathy. Two, what I
Mm.
want is to reap more light. What I want is to reap more light, as in not a lessening of weight, but yes, a lessening of weight,
Mm.
understanding now, and gratefulness, joy and love, receiving and giving, expanding. I want to reap shine. I want to shine, shine. Yes, yes, please. Bluets. And then
Oh.
there's a high note at the end of the poem where I like to put like some additional information. So the high note here is this poem after Angela Dribbin's Two Dog Tarot, Turn the Card, Spin the Line, Tarot and Poetry Workshop.
Aw.
So this was a
I
poem that,
did not recognize this poem. Like you were doing the mumbly peg and then it was the oars with
yeah,
shit. And I'm
yeah.
like,
That sounds
I know
familiar.
this poem. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, yeah. So Angie did this awesome workshop online. It was a Zoom workshop. Um, and it was amazing. She was showing tarot cards, telling us history, astrology, and I wrote, I think in longhand, I think I felt it was between 4 and 6 pages while she
Wow.
was doing the workshop, and then honed it down and turned it into this poem. Anyway, thank you, Angie.
Thank
I
you.
wanted you to hear the finished product.
I
So
love it. Thank you. And congratulations.
thanks. Thank you. Thank you
That
for
is
sharing your inspiration and your joy and all the great goodness that's in your head, sharing it with everybody. Oh, it's so good.
Oh boy, there's
So
more of
good.
that in my head. Like, yeah. Now, okay, I would have to agree with Kathy, Sissy, your sister.
My
Um,
sissy.
this is I can see this is your anthem poem.
I think it is my anthem poem.
And
Yeah.
that's something I had never thought about. I don't know if that's something she uses with her coaching or like, but the
Oh, it
anthem
might be.
poem, like what, like, like that's
Yeah.
really interesting. So. like if you're a
Yeah.
poet or an artist, like it have you created something that is your anthem?
Yeah.
And like
I
what
think,
does it feel like?
yeah. And so I've enjoyed thinking about that since she said it. I'm like, oh yeah, I think it is because, um, and then this is why I wanted to speak about it while we're doing one of these great goodness talks
Yeah.
is that I think that is the great goodness, like that, like creativity is the way that we honor. I'm talking about everybody, y'all. I'm not just talking about me and Angie here and my
Mm.
sister. I feel like creative expression is how we honor the unique, special life that we each have been gifted with, right? This life that we're having right now. And because creative, whatever we express creatively, we are the only people. We, the one person that's doing, is the only one that has had the experiences and feels the specific feelings and can express that as they're going to do it. So, like, I'm the only person that could have written this poem. Angie is the only person that could have presented that workshop that inspired this poem the way that she did. So, that is like the magic of this life, right? It's like we have this life,
Yeah.
we receive our experiences, we interpret them as only we can, right? Because we're coming from where we've come from, then we express them, hopefully, as a poem, artwork, a song, or how we relate to other people, just how we go forth into the day. And then we share it. That's like the sharing of coming from your great goodness is like that's the juiciness, right? That's the thing. That's the
Yeah.
magic. That's what shine is. I think shine is where you are open and you are open to channeling everything in your best way.
Saying yes.
And you say yes, like you open and you come from love and joy and gratitude.
Yeah.
And you take it in and you interpret it and you shine it, you share it.
Yeah. And just when I say yes, when I say yes, there are things that you should say no to. And those are not the things I'm talking
Yes.
about. Like
Yeah.
like
So,
I
yeah.
I am talking
Don't
about
say yes to everything, people.
yeah,
It's
I'm
not what
talking
I'm saying.
about like a higher calling. Like and you know when that is. So not
Yeah,
to someone hurting you or not to something that hurts you.
yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, but
The the truth of good,
yeah.
the good truth, the goodness truth. Yeah,
Yeah. And I think about this a lot, like about creating because like I like when you were saying like you're the only one who could have written that poem. Like I'm the only one who could have presented workshop, that workshop. Now I'm not the only one who does a
yeah.
tarot workshop. I'm not the only one who does a
No,
tarot writing or an astrology tarot.
no, I'm
But
not the
I'm
only person that writes poems,
right,
but that
that
one,
one. And
you
that's
were the
why it's
only one that.
important.
Yes,
And
yeah,
I think we forget that. And like Ashanti Files actually said that so she was saying she's like, yeah, my workshops don't have 1,000 people. And like, let's be honest, we would be blown away if we got 1,000 people. Like, wouldn't we be honored? Yes, we'd be so honored.
sure,
However, she was like, I teach to 3 or 4 students with the same like vitality that I would teach to 1,000. Be
right,
and I guess I tie that in because it's like those 3 to 4 people, we could never quantify how important it is that those 3 or 4 people hear what Ashanti is bringing in that moment in that day.
right,
Does that
right.
make sense?
Yes, yeah. That's the great goodness. It's like it's that moment. It's
Yeah. And
yeah,
and it's crazy that when you show up, what you bring is exactly what this whoever you're sharing it with
yeah,
needs, whether it's a poem, an art
yeah,
piece, a food,
yeah,
a class. Like it's wild because, I do teach a lot of workshops. I go in and I think, I don't know. I don't know what, and I teach a lot of grief workshops, and
yeah,
that is an honor and it's also very tricky because I don't know what stage of grief. I don't know what expression of grief.
Sure.
I don't know what type of
Yeah.
grief. Like I don't know who's coming. I don't know. I have no idea. And right before it starts, I always get gripped with this like, am I gonna am I gonna have what they need? Like what
Fingers
if
crossed.
and inevitably it is
It works.
exactly as it should be. And I
Yeah.
just have to show up. Like
Yeah.
and that's what you do. That's what you do. That's what you do. You show up. Like,
Yeah, just show up, but be real, just show up and be real. And the other thing too I wanted to say, because you were touching on this about like, and it is so important to share what you're creating and what you know. Like if you know in your heart that this is a good thing, or that this person is going to be all right, or if you are
mhm,
feeling the feels, there is nothing wrong with speaking the feels if they're coming from heart, right? I mean,
mhm,
don't have to tell people that their hair looks bad today. I'm not talking about that, but I'm just talking about, like if you, I don't care if it's a stranger or whatever, if you are feel compelled to say something kind to them, just say it. Just say it.
mhm. Oh, because don't you just light up and don't they just like,
Yes.
oh
Like
my
tell the
gosh.
lady that you love that belt she's
Right.
wearing.
Right. And you can see it. You see it when you see something and you're like, "Oh my God, that dress is beautiful." And don't forget to say on you, by the
Yes.
way.
And the other thing is when people say or do things, I'm talking, y'all, I'm a fan of chatting up strangers now. I gotta own that. But I think that that's what you do. When you see somebody being kind or doing something real, tell them that you saw that and that you
Yeah.
appreciate it, or
Bear
that it was
witness.
nice.
Yeah.
Bear witness and say, that was really kind,
Yeah.
the way what you just said to that gentleman
Yeah.
or whatever. I
Yeah.
think that's important. Yeah.
Yeah. It is.
And with your creative work too, and I wanted to say this too, because I think so many people like think that their work isn't good if nobody publishes it or if it's not in a gallery, and that is so not true. It doesn't have anything to do with whether it's good or not. Good is a silly term, I think, for any kind of creative expression, because that's just an opinion. This is
Mm-hmm.
somebody's opinion.
Yeah.
Um, but if you create something, if you write 40 million poems, that is awesome. And if you want to share them, extra awesome. That's just like the great goodness, extra
Mm-hmm.
yummy sauce. If you don't, you're still creating. That doesn't change the energy. You have still put goodness into the universe by writing your poem or writing the letter that you didn't mail.
Mm-hmm.
Or just doing a drawing or whatever, making a collage, weaving something, braiding a belt. It doesn't matter what it is. Just when you are doing something that you are being creative, you have put that energy, you've channeled that through you and you've put that energy out. And if you share
Yes.
it, that's extra. That's extra shine.
And so one thing I hear you saying is like something like so a lot of these workshops that I do teach, a lot of the things we're doing we may never share because they're
Right.
for us to
Yeah.
traverse emotional terrain.
Hmm.
And and but there's a freedom in it and it's in that creativity, leaning into that creativity allows us a freedom. And
Discovery.
yeah, and
Yes. Ooh,
yeah.
I think that we don't talk about that enough, right? Like that's when you're being creative, that process is discovery.
It is. It is. And it's
Yeah.
like I tell people this all the time. Like one of my favorite things to do for that, like you can do it in a lot of different ways. And because I'm kind of comfortable with that freedom, I can I can easily go
Hmm.
and make and not worry about what it's going to be because
Hmm.
I don't know. I'm a
It's about the
I'm a
making.
deadhead from way back.
It's
I don't care.
it's not
And
about the
so
being
and
showy, right? It's
yeah.
about the process,
And
the
so
actually doing it.
yeah,
Yeah.
so I'm just like whatever. And but so many people have been told at some point that doesn't look good. You don't know how to color
Hmm.
inside the lines or you don't, you're not a
Yeah.
poet.
That's
You
not a
shouldn't write.
poem.
And yeah, and first of all, that's about that person.
That is the crazy.
That
Like if
has
somebody ever
nothing to do with
says
you.
that, they obviously do not know what they're
Oh
talking
my
about.
gosh. And y'all haven't seen. y'all haven't seen Monica Prince, but when you see that episode, well, you will have seen it. By the time you're seeing this one, you'll have seen Monica Prince's. Okay.
Or maybe, or if not, go see it. Go,
And
yes,
yeah,
Monica
so
is, yeah.
go
Check
see
out
Monica
all of the
Prince's.
Great Goodness
Yes.
videos, y'all.
And
Everybody is.
she talks about growing up and just being told constantly, like, you're magic and being able to create. But anyway, so where I was going with this is if people have been told that, it's difficult to find that freedom.
Mhm,
Because there's so much judgment and it just locks you up. And that's why I love like found poetry or,
mhm,
found collage even. Like, so you tear a piece of tear a page out of a magazine, you circle 20 words that you like for whatever reason. You've got your word
mhm,
bank, and then you can use those words to write a poem. You can
mhm.
use those words on that piece and like color, black out all the other words and put images on it and just leave those. You can
Make it
use
art. Make it a piece of
yeah,
art.
you can
Yeah.
use half those words. You can also, I saw somebody the other day do the coolest thing. I told her I was going to steal it from her. She was in one of my grief workshops.
So this
She,
is you stealing it.
yes, this is me stealing
Okay.
it because it was great. I was like, oh
Yeah.
my goodness. And so she found 10 words in this article and she wrote them down. And then she related them back to the person she had lost, that she was there
Oh,
grieving. And so I don't necessarily know that this was a specific real one, but it would be like corn. You grew it in our garden every year. Or, and I'm
yeah.
going to tell you, it was freaking beautiful. And
Oh,
and you could see it and the healing that it brought for her to be able to have him on paper. And let me tell you another thing that happened.
yeah. That's beautiful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll tell you another thing that happened. So she's because
Do do tell
because
us.
I, well,
Tell
I
us.
want y'all to know, like this magic is like okay.
It's
I've seen
doable.
this happen a
It's
couple of
magic. You can
times.
do. You can do this magic.
I've seen this exact thing happen a couple of times. Someone comes in, they've lost someone, and this grief is not grief does not go away. Like you can have lost someone 20
Yeah.
years
Just
ago,
kind of
40 years ago, 5 years ago, 2 years ago.
changes.
Yes, that's exactly right. So the person comes in and they're going to do a collage. Like that's what they're going to do. So they go over, they grab a magazine, they're flipping through. Oh my God, this article is about the place we went every year for our anniversary. What the heck? Or flipping through a magazine. Oh my gosh, that's my dad's name and his birth date on this advertisement. And that's the type of whiskey he liked.
Right. It's
Like
like you see the coincidences.
yes.
Yeah.
So okay, so here's what I'm getting at. When we let ourselves have that freedom to create, we we're connecting not just with our higher self, but I do believe with an energy beyond us. And that energy has this way to communicate with us, to speak back to us. Like I
Hmm.
don't believe those are accidents. I do believe, I mean, if I'm being completely honest, I believe that's that person you missed communicating with you. Like
Oh,
I do believe that. But you don't have to. You can believe whatever you want to believe. And
well, it's an energetic thing
yes,
too,
you can
right?
certainly believe
Whether
that
you
it's an
believe it or
energetic
not,
thing.
you know
Yeah.
that there is energy all around,
Something more.
and
Yeah.
items have like depending on, like this has energy in that, like it makes me feel a certain way. This is the book from the deck. But it also has energy because it's made of cells, and cells are an actual science thing. Like it's a thing you can
Hmm.
see with a microscope. So this is actually is a, it has everything has energy,
Yeah.
like science energy and woo energy also.
Yes.
Like there's a lot of
Yes.
different energy. So whether you think Angie's gone all woo on you or not, there's also the science part to it too, right? Like it's like
Hmm.
yes, that yes. And I
Yeah.
think too with the energies too is like when you open your mind and your heart up, then you can see the things that were there that you would have missed if you weren't being open to them. So
Yes.
if she had not been in the grief workshop, she might have seen that magazine at the doctor's office, but not seen the words relating to her grief.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Now, um, anthem poem, anthem.
Oh,
Do you
yeah.
think you can go into something intending to write your anthem poem, or does it have to happen organically?
Oh, that's a really good question. So I'm really opinionated about that. I think that both are create. Those are both creative. You're on a journey of creative expression, right? And people, I don't know why so many people are like, no, there's two camps. There's only two camps on that. Either you set the intention and you write the poem the way you're intending it about what you intend, or you're just open and it comes and you channel it and do whatever. So I think your answer to your question is yes, and it wasn't, or yes and no, no, but yes also. So I think that you can, people have different ways. Like I stink at writing to a theme, right? Like I am the worst
Mhm.
traditional prompt writer. Like if somebody gives me, like you go to a
Me
workshop
too.
with 40 people and the prompt is a beautiful prompt, the prompt is okay, like I like to write in response to art. Like the prompt today is, here is this beautiful Monet painting. Write in response to that. I will invariably write about why I cannot write in response to the freaking Monet painting, right? It's like, no, but I will write about a frog or whatever. So
Hmm.
some people can set the intention and go, and that's what triggers their creativity.
Hmm.
So yes, you can do that. And I think that's great. And every once in a miracle that happens for me. But usually I just have to be open and I'm like, I'm going to go to your workshop and whatever happens. Yes, this was the workshop where we were supposed to be writing about trees and you had great images and all kinds of science stuff. And I wrote about my grandmother and that's fine.
Mm,
Right. So it's whatever, I guess, is the answer to the question about do you write with purpose and intent or do you? Yes, to
yeah.
both. It's just the answer is whatever.
Yeah. I think writing about your grandmother is writing about trees.
Well,
Because I didn't know her, but I mean, but well, maybe.
you may
Well,
know her a little bit,
yeah. Okay. Anyway,
or both of the hers, because I had two
but
of them. So,
okay. But so because, trees have the
of the whole.
mycorrhizal like and they when they die, they will bequeath they will bequeath what vitality is left of them to the other trees. Like, and
Mhm.
so I think it totally has to do with lineage. We might want to choose
That's.
which
I'm
trees
just seeing a new
bequeathing,
work.
but yeah.
I'm seeing you conjuring a workshop in your head now about the. Oh, that could be interesting. We'll do a tree
Um,
thing.
uh, so okay. This was really cool. I feel like this is actually our conversations. This is actually how great goodness came to be.
This is
Because,
what we do.
and this is the it's our as we
Yeah.
were talking, I was like, do we remember that we're recording? And I was like, yeah, this is why we started Great
Oh
Goodness, because
yeah.
we would
This is
have
what.
these
Yeah.
conversations and like be like, oh
Yeah.
my gosh, I love this so much. And I have to give a shout out to Maya Kinney. If you haven't seen her episode, this is a piece by
Yes.
Maya Kinney. And when I wear this, my husband gave it to me. Well, he gave me one and I somehow lost it. I
Oh.
still don't know how. And then he said that he asked her to please make another one because she makes each piece and
Yeah.
she wasn't making this piece anymore, I guess. And so he reached out to her and she made this one but I
Oh.
it holds like she talked about her jewelry and how is imbues the word. I feel like imbues is a word that works. So she imbues each piece
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
an energy and you can feel it and like between it being a gift from my beloved and the second time being a gift his patience, because I'm just a mess pot. Like I just am. I just
Messed
I
up. I love
just
that
found my
word.
robe. I just found my robe. I've been wearing his robe for a month because I couldn't find my robe, and I just found it. It's hanging by the front door. I have no idea at what point I took it off by the
Okay.
front door and left it hanging there. Anyway, and so the fact that he's that patient with me, and then Maya, and I just feel so when we create, it's just
I,
endless. And I can
yeah.
tell I hold it and like play with it and
I think the
like,
energy's in it, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
it's so important that we make what we came here to make. Like that we
Yeah.
create that. That work is so important. And I don't know if we'll ever know how important. Like I just don't know if there's a way to quantify that.
No, but I mean it's a big hot deal.
Like
Yeah, it's a big deal.
do you have to trust yourself? Do you have to
I think you
trust
just have to
your
be open, right?
yeah,
Just be
okay.
open. And if you're open, then you don't need to define whether you're trusting or not, because if you're open, you by default you're trusting that whatever happens is whatever happens. And it's whatever, right? It's like if you're open, then you are like, I am. It's like people say, well, I'm just going to put this out into the universe. It's just
Mhm.
being open. It's like, I
Yeah,
know that things will happen
yeah.
and that the next thing will happen. The next thing will happen. And I will do and I will make and I will feel and I will speak and things will happen. And I
I,
will make things happen. And sometimes things will happen without me. So
and I
it's
think
all great
it's
goodness.
really important to say um, that sometimes we may have a vision or we may not have a vision. We may just be creative, but sometimes we may create a thing and we may put it out there and it may not feel like it went anywhere.
Mm.
And we may feel that that is a reflection on what we created. But and that can stunt us
Mm.
sometimes.
Hmm.
That can be really heavy because creating is so personal,
Yeah. And
so intimate.
emotional.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I want to offer that sometimes it's just the timing. Sometimes the planetary energies just aren't moving that along right now.
Yeah.
Um, or maybe that wasn't quite your thing that was going to go. Maybe there's a different thing.
Hmm.
So just don't let that inform
Yes.
your,
Don't be opiniony about it, right? It's like, I think we need to keep in mind, like, then when we're saying things like, this poem is no good, that is your opinion. That's a label that you just put on it. The poem is the poem.
and
And it's like with rejections too, because Lord knows we talk to a lot of people and everybody, if you are sending your work out to
you're getting
publishers,
rejected.
you're getting rejections. But so I'm always trying to say I'm not submitting. Boy, that's a big word, right? Like
I do
submit
not
means like
like that
I'm
word.
making myself tiny. I hate it. So I'm not doing
Yeah.
submissions.
I'm
I am
offering.
sharing. I'm
Yeah.
sharing, I'm offering,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
so if you have offered your work to a judge at a contest or a publisher or an editor or anybody, then that's you've made your offering. Good for you.
Yeah.
And presumably, at least one person received it.
Yeah.
And what they made of it has nothing to do with you whatsoever. That's on them.
And I do want to offer that I do also though want to offer the space to grieve. To
Yeah,
grieve
yeah, of course. Yeah,
not being
that's your feelings. Yeah, you can
yeah.
grieve it. You can be hurt by it. And
If
just know that
yeah.
that is your response.
Yeah. And let yourself have that.
Yeah.
We prefer
Yeah.
for you to not stay in it because we need you. We need you to
Yeah,
create,
don't
you know.
try to not wallow in negativity.
But well, grief is
But
not negativity,
well, that's
right?
true. Yeah. Yeah.
Grief is a valid emotion and
Yeah.
so if you so is anger. Anger is
Yes.
good. But anger is an emotion that is intended to move us through. It's not a
Yeah.
destination. It's
Yeah.
a transportation.
Yeah.
And so I do want to invite you to experience all those emotions. I think they're really important.
Hmm.
And so I want to make space for that.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but those were Karen, thank
What?
you
Oh,
for letting us have this conversation. I've had so much fun.
we went a lot of places
We
today, didn't we?
did. We did. We did. Thankfully, we didn't subject them to the conversation we had before this. So
I know, right?
I was like, what am I talking about right now? I don't even know. I don't know how this happened, but
Oh gosh.
um anyway,
Thank
we
y'all for watching this. I hope
yeah.
you enjoyed, even if you enjoyed a smidgen of as much as I did. That's a
And
big smidgen.
you got an amazing poem. You got like 1,000 trillion prompts. You got a ton of permission and invitation. I mean, this is a lot of great goodness.
I think so. Yes, yes.
Yeah. Like, oh, I really want
Oh,
people to start letting us know if you are creating in response to any of the great goodness
oh, to
episodes.
yeah. If you watch a great goodness, yeah.
Share
So here's
that.
some advice. If you watch a great goodness, or I say when you watch a great goodness
Hmm.
video, to be open to what it brings to you
Yeah.
and have your way with it.
And then share it with us because I am envisioning like sharing those creations. I want to share
Oh, that would be cool.
how everyone is having this conversation and people have been
Yeah,
reaching out and sharing some things. And I'm like, this is really cool. And then if you've watched SE Harsha's, you saw what SE made in response to Louisa Gloria, and it just
yeah,
multiplies things. It's
yeah,
like, oh, it's like shivery powerful. It's really cool.
yeah.
So, okay. Like, comment, subscribe. Forgot to tell you that.
Are
Okay.
you going to do a prompt for people
They
leaving
got a
this?
bunch of prompts.
What I know, is there another one that you want to sling out? They did get a
I
bunch of
wouldn't have
prompts
used
today.
them if I'd known I was going.
I know. Yeah,
No,
yeah,
yeah, no, I think they got a bunch of prompts. I,
yeah.
I
That would
really
be good.
do because I feel like they got different ways to do found poetry. And so don't
Yeah, lots
y'all
of
don't be greedy.
and and then that we had this that we shared at the
Oh my
start,
gosh, that beautiful.
which y'all at some point
That's a
I'm going to get
prompt.
photos of these put on our Facebook page. I
Yeah.
just apologize. I don't know. I don't have enough hours in the day right now, but yes, use the cards that we're looking at as prompts if you like.
I mean, there's so much to this card, right?
Yeah.
Like, have you ever been in exile? Did you
Yeah.
put yourself in exile or were you
Oh,
placed in exile?
oh, that's good.
What what were you exiled from? Is that something you would go back to now, or would your
Hmm.
home be something different? What shape is your home? Like, what does your home look like? I mean, is it a tortoise shell? Is it is it
Oh,
a
that's
a
interesting.
white country
Yeah.
a white country house? Is it a gazebo? Is it, what is it? Is it a pond?
I'm
I
looking
don't
at
know.
this card now too, and I'm like, if you were to put your head down and listen to a home you have lived in, what song
Oh,
would that home be singing to you? What would it be speaking to you?
yes. Yes.
Doesn't it look like she's listening? Now it looks like she's
Yeah.
listening.
I love that. Now you have all your prompts. Now you have you
There
have
you go.
so many prompts. Create and share it with us.